Zidon Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, as you can clearly see, we are going to be talking about the first of the other Miraculouses, the Libra Miraculous, whose power is the power of judgment. Now, obviously, as of right now, there has not yet been any confirmation of what the other Miraculouses are going to be. This is mostly just my theories on what the Miraculouses will be, and if you guys want to get in on this, then you should send me your pictures of any of your miraculous fan arts and send them to me down in the description below, or to probably my Twitter is the best place. Um, but a few of the other locations also work, so definitely check those out. Um, but like I said, we're talking about Libra, the first of the European Miraculouses and the leader of these Miraculouses. Uh, which is kind of an interesting thing to think about considering the fact that Tiki and Plag are basically the leaders of the um, Chinese miraculous box, or possibly just called the Asian miraculous box. Um, while this is the European miraculous box, and this is one of the zodiacal miraculouses. There are still, besides the 12 zodiacal, there's still the other seven because that we'll be getting into. Um, but Libra is going to be the leader for reasons that I will explain later. Um, but first off, this is my artwork for what the Miraculous would look like, what the Kwame will look like, and what the weapon is. This, the Libra is also going to, or the scale that you see here is also likely going to be the symbol in the box to basically mark that this is the Libra Miraculous. Um, the Kwame's name is going to be Libra, just like it should be. Um, Mostly because of the fact that the main zodiacs uh, of Greek have actual names, and it's not actually just explaining what they are. So that's the main reason why I'm gonna say that right now that all of the Greek zodiacal miraculouses are going to be based off of their names are going to be the same names that they are in the zodiac. Um, but yeah, obviously, like I said, the Kwame is the most interesting part. Uh, it does still have a little bit of the power, however, unlike the normal power or the other like Plague, who is more destructive, this Kwame is very different, only having one of the two powers that we will be getting into, and that being the showing the past mistakes and good things that have been done for previous miraculous for whoever it's using its power on. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Next, we should talk about. Oh, actually, we should talk about the fact that it's blind. Uh, Primarily because of the fact that we always say that, or the common saying that the law is blind or whatever. I forget what the exact saying is, but basically that carries over into both the Kwame as well as the actual user of the Miraculous. While the user has not yet been met, I do believe that this character will be a blind character, or it will be the Kagami's mother. Either way, it still looks fun to see what exactly will be happening with this Miraculous. Um, and also, she's just, she or it, whatever you're going to call it, is also very tired most of the time, and that's why it has the droopy eyes. Uh, Next, we should actually talk about the actual Miraculous. These are actual earrings that will hang about like this. Um, Basically, the little hook that you guys can see right over there, that doesn't actually function. Basically, all it would do is right in this area, it hooks in, and that's it. It's basically just there to make sure that it doesn't go flying. But primarily, the main thing is the fact that there's a little uh, dip inside the thing, and it basically holds on like that. There are two earrings, just like the fact that there are two earrings for Ladybug. I only drew one because I didn't want to get into the details of the other one, but primarily that's what it is. The four little segments on it are what you will see when glowing when it's active, and then it will count down like it does with the others. Next is the weapon, which is the scale. Primarily, it's going to be in the scale form. Can be spun around to basically make a shield the way that just like the yo-yo can, but it can also be really good as basically like a frying pan. But when its user decides to use the Miraculous's power, it will, in combat at least, it will allow them to yell judgment, which will then change the scale into whatever weapon would best suit the situation that they're in. Basically, that's the main reason why they're the leader. They are the most powerful of all of the Miraculouses in this group. There is a little bit more in there, but that's the primary focus. As for the other power that I mentioned earlier that the Kwami also has is that they can do judgment outside of combat, and it will show all of the wrongs and all of the good that the person has done so that it can be evenly weighed to see what kind of punishment the person deserves. This Kwami is complete. The Kwami itself will only serve someone who is objectively good, and will also has the same belief in as they do, to basically make sure that whoever they're judging is gets a fair trial with the good and the bad actually weighed. So, for example, if this Kwami were to actually be brought into Hawkmoth's trial, it would weigh the fact that Hawkmoth did all these bad things, nearly killing tons of people, but the reason that he did it was so that he could save his wife. There's a lot of things that will be going into that whole idea that will then be that the Kwami will then weigh, making the Kwami thinking really the best punishment is to just simply send Hawkmoth to jail. The death sentence isn't that necessary. That's basically its thinking. And it basically weighs, should the person be held accountable? Is the person obviously making amends, or are they simply doing these things for selfish reasons? What is their reasoning for it? And if it's if they're doing bad things for what it qualifies as a good enough reason, then it will only lock them up rather than saying, okay, it's a death sentence for you. Lots of things like that. This Kwami, though, is very, very dangerous in the wrong hands. So whoever is going to gain this Miraculous needs to be someone who is able to handle someone who is going crazy, and needs to be someone who will actually weigh the consequences for every action, which is the main reason why I think that Kagami's mother may actually be the first and possibly the only Miraculous holder that will actually be using a Miraculous as an adult full time, eventually giving the Miraculous over to someone else who also has the same beliefs as her. That's kind of what I am picturing for this Kwame. However, I do still think that they are going to continue the idea that all of the Miraculouses are going to mostly children or mostly teenagers or in the same age group or whatever, meaning that this Kwame would likely go to would most likely go to some new character that we haven't yet met, most likely being either being a blind character or maybe not, but someone who still feels the same way as Libra. Like I said, we haven't really met anyone that I think fits that personality. But why exactly did I decide to start with this Miraculous? Well, like I said, this is the leader of this group of Miraculouses. And while I think that there are some really good things that will be coming from the yin and yang equivalents, I think that starting with Libra as the leader and also just knowing what Libra's powers will most likely be is honestly the best option for this series. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then definitely leave a like. Of course, leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. Make sure to put the hashtag theory review if you are going to leave a theory. And of course, if you are new, subscribe and ring that notification bell. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to send your artworks of any of the Miraculouses to my Twitter or any of the other social medias down in the description below. And if you want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out the merch links because those really help us. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I'll see you guys next time. But on!